April 1945. Berlin is burning. The city intended to be the crown of a 1,000-year empire is now nothing more than ruins, smoke, and the cries of teenage soldiers. Deep beneath the shattered streets, in a place darker than any nightmare, a single man has reached his end. This is the story of that end, the final week of a failed empire. The Führerbunker, the leader's shelter, had become a concrete tomb. The concrete ceiling above them was 16 meters thick, but no thickness could keep reality out anymore. Reality was seeping through the reinforced walls. Inside, the air was heavy with the smell of diesel, dampness, cigarettes, and fear. Hitler's entourage included Dr. Morell, young secretaries, Eva Braun, and his dog, Blondie. The generals, weary of the delusion, arrived daily for the final situation conference, a conference that was no longer about battle, but a ritual to affirm the leader's fantasy. Hitler, now 56, spent hours staring at the maps. His tremor in his hand could no longer be hidden. He still believed his armies existed. In his mind, he moved units, many of which were only names on paper. He desperately clung to the relief forces that were supposedly advancing toward Berlin. Between April 18th and 20th, the first cracks appeared in the circle of loyalty. Hermann Göring, located in southern Germany, sent a telegram declaring his readiness to assume control of the government if Hitler was cut off in Berlin. Upon hearing Göring's message, Hitler exploded. To him, this was not a practical measure, but the greatest act of treason. He denounced Göring as a traitor and ordered his immediate dismissal and arrest. This reaction, more than anything else, demonstrated that Hitler had lost control not only of his army, but also of his own sanity and grasp of reality. The fateful day was April 22nd. The 12th Army and the 5th Panzer Division, along with Steiner's forces, were supposed to execute a pincer attack to save Berlin. All of Hitler's hope rested on this delusional plan. At the situation conference, Hitler waited, map in hand. But the reports came in. The armies were paralyzed. When the commanders present admitted that Steiner's forces were completely dispersed and incapable of any offensive, silence descended. Then Hitler stood up and began to scream. This was not a breakdown. It was a cosmic explosion of hatred and fury. For long minutes he screamed, blaming everyone from the SS to the Luftwaffe and the German people for the failure. He cried, "I have been forsaken by all. I no longer need these forces." After the storm subsided, Hitler became quiet. His face was pale and devoid of all emotion. He spoke only 2 sentences. "The war is lost. I will remain in Berlin and end it." After that moment, Hitler was no longer a victorious dictator. He became the meticulous planner of his own suicide. Above all, he feared his body being put on display like Mussolini's. He ordered the cyanide capsule to be tested on his dog, Blondie, to ensure its potency. In the early hours of April 29th, Hitler married his longtime companion, Eva Braun, in a brief, bizarre ceremony in the bunker. It was not an act of love, but a final attempt to maintain an illusion of normalcy at the gates of hell. The witnesses were Bormann and Goebbels. Immediately after the wedding, Hitler dictated 2 testaments, a private one and a political one. In the political testament, he formally named Admiral Karl Donitz as his successor and Joseph Goebbels as the new chancellor. He once again blamed everyone for the defeat, especially international Jewry, and ordered continued resistance. April 30, 1945. After a final farewell lunch, Hitler and his wife retreated to his private study. At 3:30 p.m., a single gunshot. The end. Their bodies were carried to the garden, doused in petrol, and burned in a shallow crater. The 1,000-year empire ended in the smell of burning gasoline and gunpowder.